Audiences are finally getting their first real look at Jason Momoa's Lobo in action. With the new short teasers for his part in the upcoming Supergirl, even the most skeptical DC fans are saying they like what they see. DC as a movie brand has gone through some tough times in recent years. To varying degrees and for various reasons, the company has produced a robust string of critical and commercial flops. Whether it was The Flash's 1,000 controversies, the folly of Folie à Deux, or the bonkers and boring Wonder Woman 1984, DC viewers have had plenty to complain about. Even Aquaman, the billion-dollar earning spectacle under the sea, couldn't be relied on to satisfy with its disappointing sequel, which brought the shared universe of the DCEU to an uninspired close.
I don't mind. It's an honorable end.
But while the movies may not have always been satisfying, most people enjoyed the on-screen charisma of Jason Momoa. Even if he ultimately didn't have that much interesting stuff to do, he brought a certain booyah factor that a series like this sometimes needs. That said, his casting as Aquaman always felt a little strange. This is a king, right? So how did he get so salt of the earth? It strained credulity a little. And DC Studios head James Gunn apparently agreed, recasting Momoa for the new cinematic DC universe and getting him in front of viewers as quickly as humanly possible.
Finally.
To Jason Momoa's immense satisfaction, DC Studios recast him in the universe as Lobo, a beastly interstellar bounty hunter who looks like every Judas Priest album cover combined into one guy, or alien. Writers of the comics apparently tried to use Lobo as a vehicle to parody certain excesses of the 90s, the totally extreme style of badass antihero that in that decade occasionally got pretty silly. For better or for worse, fans ignored the joke. They thought this guy was awesome.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. My card.
We're not going to argue with that. Matter of fact, this casting seems to be one of the few things comic book movie fans aren't arguing about, especially now that they've got a good look at him in a pair of short promo spots for his debut movie Supergirl. Based on the 8-issue comic book Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Supergirl follows Kara Zor-El as she has a little lost weekend in a distant corner of outer space, kind of place with a red sun where she can get her drink on. Lobo showed up in a short blink-and-you'll-miss-it moment in the movie's first teaser, which makes sense. Lobo is not the main villain of this movie. This guy is. Lobo isn't even in the comic on which the movie is based, so the relatively small role makes sense. But DC fans are eating good with this glorious reveal. Don't take our word for it. Here's what some users on social media had to say. We'll start with a DCU fan account on X, which posted, "The mother is Lobo." How's that for a tone setter? Another user wrote, "Jason really was born to play Lobo. He looks perfect. It's like you shook a comic and he fell right out of it." Side note, don't be shaking comics, folks. They might be worth some money someday. Another account focused on analyzing comics and comic book culture reacted to the teaser with this observation. For years, Jason Momoa was playing a character he was never right for. Now they finally cast him as Lobo, which is perfect casting. But that user wasn't without criticism either, adding pointedly, "But then they throw him into a bad, skanky Supergirl movie and give him the most uninteresting and colorless makeup since Heath Ledger's Joker. You lost us at the end there, bud. What?" Anyway, we like the makeup, and so do most other people, it seems. But they're right that not everyone is sold yet on this Supergirl movie. Coming from I, Tonya director Craig Gillespie, it feels a little bit like, well, I, Tonya meets Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's sort of an untested formula. Lobo certainly seems like he's here to appeal to a different demographic, something complementary to what the rest of the movie is doing. And from early reactions, it looks like a move that might work. So, how's this first look at Lobo change your opinion of Supergirl? Will you be there when it hits theaters June 26th? We certainly will, and so will Jason Momoa, in the role he was born to play.